Well, howdy, howdy, howdy. Nearly Senior Citizen here. Greetings, boys and girls, and welcome to this. Today is a new and scary day for me. I am trusting to the program Audacity. I have seen other people use it in videos, and so it's not an unusual thing. Looks like it's picking up my voice so well that it's going up into the danger zone. It has a little decibel meter on it. I am of course worried because it's the first time that I'll have been using Audacity to record my audio, and so I'm terrified I'm going to do something wrong and mess it up, but life is life, so here's hoping. I don't have a lot of things written down on my topics list because it's just been that sort of couple days, but for the Shelton, Washington weather, plague, rat, and spider report, for the weather report, it was kind of iffy on the rain sort of situation last night, so I took my travel brolly with me when I went out walking. Didn't need it, it stayed dry, and it seems to be dry now. I can't tell what the sky is. I can only just barely see leaves outside. But thumbs up for that. Plague rat report. Well, even though I went walkies kind of early last night, it was about 7 o'clock, most of the people that I saw inside places, and I only went to really one, they were mostly using masks, but people still pull them down so their noses are out. You see it in your daily life. You see it on TV. You see it on the internet. I don't understand people, but there you go. Thumbs up for that. For the spider report, the 3 garden spiders are still doing well against the far wall. So thumbs up for that. I mean, they're doing as well as they can, and that's cool. The spiders have a strange, awesome, as in the biblical type of awesome, and that it inspires awe, not like awesome, dude. And terrifying alien beauty. Thumbs up for that. Yeah, it's a good thing. I was out walking last night, and I was thinking, because it's been a while since I've done one of my H&R Proscetta pronunciation guide things. And so I've got one that I'm working on. I've come up with a couple terms that, are all self-contradictory and such. And I really started thinking about that because there is always a warning of don't use these materials around this sort of thing at the front of my pronunciation and other type guides. And the one I started working on last night, it's kind of heavy duty. In fact, it's got warnings about if there is this sort of exposure, first seek emergency decontamination, then seek an emergency shelter with emergency staff. Be prepared to stay a while. Emergency personnel and services will likely be stretched thin for the foreseeable future. So it's heavy duty. You don't want to do the things that they say not to do. Now, if you know about the SCP stuff that they've been working on with the whole SCP thing, because there's a wiki of sorts about SCP stuff, which of course is just secure, contain, protect. It's a wiki where anybody can go in and read and add to the database, where people can come up with objects that need to be secured, contained, or protected. And there's 3 classes of item that are collected, and I can't remember what all the names are, but there's absolutely safe, dangerous if you're not careful, and absolutely inimical to all human life. And they're securing to keep that stuff out of the hands of just Joe Blow. Containing, because those ones that have the potential to end all life on the planet, we need to keep those away from just Joe Blow. And protect us, and sometimes to protect the SCP. Now, the thing is, of course, about the whole SCP Foundation and all that is they do work on a multiverse, so yeah, there's anytime that you want to think of something that might not be canon to what the SCP Foundation is, it's actually canon to the SCP Foundation. You're just off on some variant. So thumbs up for that. But I was thinking about my whole H&R Proscetta guides, and it's like, yeah, those are kind of SCP objects. I mean, they refer anachronistically to a bunch of stuff. I mean, like a 1950s copyrighted thing may refer to things that are happening in 2020 and such like that. They make referrals to things that didn't happen, and they do not refer to things that have happened. So they're odd, strange, and yeah, extremely dangerous, because when they give you the warning, you heed that warning. So thumbs up. I'd been working on an SCP without even realizing it. It's a cool project. I'm hoping that Audacity is recording properly. It looks like I'm going way up into the over-recording volumes. I hit yellow just about every time I speak, and I go up into the red a lot. So I'm hopefully it's not going to sound metallic, and then hopefully if it is too loud I can adjust the volume and it's not going to be too much sound, so yay. And that means I have to look over that direction if I want to see how long I've been recording, because now there's no indication on this monitor of what I'm doing. Yay. Past that though, still just been, well, I haven't been doing much yesterday because I had therapy, and that always shakes stuff up here, because when I told my therapist, yeah, I'm going to talking around the subject a lot today. I'm not going on the subject, I'm just talking around it. And he was like, everything is connected. Even when you're not talking about the subject, you're talking about the subject. Now, I had looked at it somewhat differently, in that it's the same result, in that not talking about the actual subject, but talking around it and talking about everything but that subject, it leaves a subject-sized hole in the conversation. So as you talk, you get to see more and more of what you're not talking about. It becomes clearer and clearer, even though you're not talking about it. And that's the sort of thing I figure what I'm doing. But yeah, everything is connected, because as my therapist says, and I agree with him entirely on this one, your mind is like a gigantic lake, and your consciousness is just the boat that's floating on top of it. Now, there is fishing line that is connected to every single memory, and all of your memories are stored inside of this lake. Now, when you want to drag up one particular memory, because everything is connected and these lines are always drifting, you go to pull up just a normal memory and you find out that, oh, it's kind of stuck. And so you pull and you bring it up, and it's like, oh my God, you're bringing up a Titanic-sized wreck that you can't think about today, or oh my God, you're going to be out. Everything's connected. You don't know what's going to come up when you start tugging on memories. So yeah, talking around the subject is also talking about the subject. And so largely I know what my big thing is right now with everything going on in the world, in my country, my life situation. It's pretty heavy duty. And so even though my cyclical depression does this with normalcy about here, and I'm always here doing this, I've got this big old weight of what's happening and pressing on me, just with the same weight and numbness that I was going through when my wife died. So yeah, I know what's happening, but even though you know what's happening, it's still happening. So, especially though after talking with my therapist, everything is really just a mess, and so I didn't really do much thinking afterward. Just letting things settle, chewing over the things that I could, not chewing over the things that I didn't. just edited my video and then watched videos until about 7 o'clock, as I had said when I went out walkies, and then came home. Now, my biochemistry, my mind has changed a lot since I've gone to therapy. Before I started going to therapy, I would be up sometimes midnight or later, and I would wake up at 3 o'clock from pain. So I was getting very little sleep. Slowly, my time when I go to bed has been inching this direction, so I've been getting more sleep. And I've been able to sleep longer, sometimes till 5:30. So I've been getting more sleep lately than I ever have been. And my biochemistry has continued changing, because when it gets dark outside now, it doesn't matter how much caffeine I have drank. Now, I mention that because I'm a low context speaker. I don't let context do it. I have to explain everything. So, I'm talking about what I have to do to sleep and why caffeine makes it difficult to sleep. Caffeine matches a lot of the receptor shapes that your body uses for monitoring chemicals in your body for sleep. When you wake up, your body immediately starts producing a chemical called adenosine. Adenosine, however it's pronounced, ADENOSINE. This substance, as it increases in your body, you get tireder and tireder. Your adenosine receptors fill up more and more, and you get tired. And when you've filled up enough of those receptors, it's time to go to bed. Caffeine matches the shape and thus fills those adenosine receptors, so that when the adenosine comes by, bonk, it's already filled. It doesn't get taken up. You don't feel tired. That's why people have trouble falling asleep when they have a cup of coffee. Their adenosine receptors are already filled by the caffeine, so they literally don't feel tired. And that's why that works. I can take 300 to 700 milligrams of caffeine during a day, like I did yesterday. I went out walking at 7 and it got dark. When I got back, it was 8 o'clock. Like 8:15, 8:30, something around there. I was so tired. I was exhausted just because it was so dark outside. Within an hour, I was so tired. 9:30, I was in bed. By 10 o'clock, I was asleep. This is so bizarre for me to be able to sleep and to be able to sleep for so long. I mean, it's a good thing. I'm very, very glad. It's just 8 o'clock, I'm falling asleep. I'm glad that I'm sleeping. It is good. But that also leaves my days kind of short and with nothing to talk about. Like right now, even though I'm at 13 minutes according to this, my PS4. So thumbs up on that. Well, since I don't really have anything else to say because nothing happened, I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab, and I'm going to go through and thank 20 to 25 people for having left me a comment. I'm not reading the comments right now. I'm just thanking you for having left a comment. Good, bad, and different. You took the time. You expended the calories. Thank you very much. If I mispronounce a username, no disrespect is intended. I'm an American English speaker, and even though I count American Sign Language on the fingers of this hand, I am not hard of hearing or deaf, so I dated a deaf girl some 20 years back. I still remember some sign language. Let me open up my Chrome. We have the Psychedelic Society Entheogenics. Thumbs up. Max Speeder 666, greatly appreciated. Nico Bands, thumbs up and thank you. We have a Fody TV, my cat is outside and wants in. Pigeon Dance, greatly appreciated. Raven, thumbs up and thank you. Tommy Nelson, greatly appreciated. Aaron Dadon, greatly appreciated. Kathy Kiss Cat, good to see you in the comments. I'd been worried. Mars, thumbs up. A Lemon Pie 407, thumbs up and thank you. EXPT Dashy, greatly appreciated. Christian Zambro, thumbs up. Sebastian Ferris, is this the second time? I'm not sure. But Russian Timing, good to see you in the comments. Ugh. Bloody cat. Let's get centered again. That was who? Jesse Beerhacks? Young Matthew, thumbs up. And we have Elderwolf 569, greatly appreciated. Harrison, thumbs up. Taurus Aminos, greatly appreciated. Icy Club, thumbs up. Christian RMC, greatly appreciated. LKAHEEROS, thumbs up, and thank you. Denial, greatly appreciated. There's Ben Taylor, thumbs up, and She's so fine. It's not pronounced that way. It's SHISO. I just decided to make a dumb joke out of it. I don't know what my cat is doing, but hopefully she's not doing anything horrific. Thumbs up for that. If you could check out my various links down below, I still haven't fixed my GoFundMe yet. Bloody ADD and having therapy yesterday just knocked all my motivation out. So I gotta try and get stuff like that done today. But even with that in mind, if you could check out my various links down below, I do have Twitter, Facebook, Patreon.com. If you could donate to my PayPal account, that would be very, very awesome. Or become a Patreon.com patron like one of these beautiful and awesome people. That would be beautiful and awesome. If you'd like to help me out without sending money to one of those two places, even though that other place is also that PayPal link, that would be very cool. And if you wanted to help me out without sending money, I have an Amazon wish list link as well with things like cat food. I use hamster bedding also for my cat box. She likes using Aspen for some reason. And silly things, not silly things. If you could check it out, that would be very cool. Now, do not feel obligated. I do not feel entitled. And if you cannot donate, or you simply do not donate, I take all good wishes and I deposit them in the bank of my heart, where I draw interest, so thank you very much. If you could toss me a like, I appreciate all the positive validation I get from my existence, a definite thumbs up, and of course, well, hopefully I put the please subscribe to the channel thing at the front of the video. Oh, I hope I remembered. Anyway, though, I've got this video here. I need to record, edit, and render something for the second half of the day, because I need to stay busy. Thumbs up for that. So, remember, of course, do not disappoint the lobster hat wearing duck head of judgment. It is always ready, almost eager to cast its scorn upon all those it feels is necessary. Be careful. And of course, Black Lives Matter. Damn it. And, of course, wear a mask, practice your social distancing, wash your hands, don't touch your face, practice your self-care, and justice for everybody that the jackbooted, brown-shirted fascist thugs keep brutalizing and murdering in U.S. streets.